Month 8, you're in month 8. Now you are going to up your production game, right? Up your game, right? Just up your game in month 8. And how do you do this? Well, we're getting close to the end, right? We're in the last quarter, right, of the game. And our overall goal was for you to go from amateur artist, or from total scratch beginner, or hey, I started a long time ago and I'm picking this back up now, to professional artist, or master, let's say more masterful artist, right? Even if you don't want to do this for an art career or for your living, that's not what I mean when I say, professional artist. But um, professional artist just means like you are a pro artist, and you are treating yourself as a pro artist, as a master artist. You are holding yourself worthy and deserving and dignified in that, identity, in that label. Okay, so up your game. The 3 ways I recommend that you do this in month 8 is, number 1, schedule your painting time, right? Anything that we're really committed to and we are dedicated to, that's important to us, we show that by how we spend our time on it. We show that by how we plan our time for it, right? So I always say, if it's not on the calendar, it's not getting done. Right. So if you're committed to being a good mother, grandmother, father, husband, whatever, that you probably have built in time, quality time with those family members, with those spouses, with your partner, right? And the same thing is true for your art. This is a relationship. It's a commitment that you have made. And so you want your calendar to reflect that. So schedule your painting time. And I know, you're going to say, oh, but I just like to be, I just like to be spontaneous. I know. I used to say that shit too. It doesn't work, y'all. It doesn't work. And here's the thing, just because you are scheduling your creative time doesn't mean that you can't be spontaneous. So that's just really BS, and it's really resistance trying to hold you back because you're scared to really show up as a pro and step into that identity. I know, because I've been there. So absolutely no judgment. I've heard all the excuses. I have said all the excuses in especially in my early years, becoming an artist. But I can tell you that those excuses are the things that are going to keep you from your overall goal and dream of becoming the artist you want to become. So that's the first thing. Get your time scheduled and up your time if you can. If you can't, that's fine. But if you can add in even more time, then do so. All right. And month 8, you're also going to start to curate a portfolio of your best work. Okay, so go through all the work that you've created. Remember, since month 6, you've been completing 2 works a week. So at this point, you should have at least 16 pieces. Okay, you need 10 to 15 for your portfolio. Okay, this is for if you want to, well, we'll get to what it's for. Okay, but every artist needs to have a curated portfolio, and you need to learn how to curate your own work. Learn to identify which are the stronger pieces, which are the weaker pieces, learn how to create a body of work that feels cohesive, and everything, all of the style and everything feels like it fits together. If you are short on your 10 to 15 pieces by the end of month 8, you should still be doing your 2 pieces a week. So you should have at least 24 pieces to choose from by the end of month 8. Okay. So you're going to make sure that you have 15 pieces that feel completed, not perfect. Okay. Michelangelo Sistine feeling, but 15 pieces that feel like they all go together well enough, and somebody who is looking at that folder of those 15 pieces could identify that the same artist created all of them, right? Whether it's different, it can be different media, it can be even slightly different genres, of course. But there should be something cohesive starting to come out in your work. If you are short on any of those pieces, on 15, you're going to fill in the gap in month 8. You're going to figure out, what kind of piece could I plug in here? What kind of painting or drawing or whatever work of art it is, what is this collection missing? What is this what do I feel like is missing from this collection? And you're going to create that in month 8. Okay. And or throughout, obviously you have a few more months in the year. So if you have a lot that you feel like is missing, now's the time to identify it. I want you to pretend like you are going to have for example, in our art school, by our 4th year, senior year, we had our senior thesis, right? So we had our own showing and we had to do this whole process. I don't think it takes 4 years to do this. In fact, I think it's probably the best thing for you to do is to take what art school is having you do in 4 years and do it for yourself in 1 year. And then you rinse and repeat. You do that year 2 for yourself. You do it year 3 for yourself. Because when you curate and you analyze the body of work you've created, you're really stretching your skill set. You're stretching your brain. You're strengthening it faster instead of just like, yeah, because I think the best advice and the worst advice is like, just paint every day or just draw every day. It's both the best advice because you need to have a consistent practice, but it's also the worst advice because there's so much more to becoming a successful pro master artist that goes way beyond just daily practice. Okay, now we're going to move into month 9. And this is where you're going to start to build your brand or your identity as an artist online. Okay, so in this month 9, I want you to create either a social media page. I don't care where the social media page is. I think Instagram is probably the best for artists, but it could be Facebook or something else. Maybe it's a blog. I know a lot of people don't blog much anymore, but again, don't overthink this. Just do it. Do the damn thing, okay? You're going to create that. You're going to need to have to write a description, right? So you're going to describe your art. How would you describe what you create and your style and how you create it in a very short way, right? So you're going to keep it short. I don't really think at this point that you need to write a bio. You need more of like a description of, your art and why you create it or how you create it. And maybe you can put in a little bit of who you are, if there's anything that you want to throw in about that. But I don't think you need to start off by writing a full blown bio. Who cares? Frankly, I don't think hardly anybody cares. But that short description so people know what you're all about, what your art's all about. Okay, and then month 9, you're going to practice. You're going to practice, right? Sharing your art online, sharing your process, right? You're taking that, letting the cat out of the bag, coming out of the artist closet to the next level. And you're going to commit to a consistent practice of sharing your art. I recommend no fewer than 2 times a week. Okay, at least twice a week. And then as soon as you feel like you can up it. But minimum twice a week, I want you to post something, talk about your art, whether it's on Instagram or on the blog or something like that. And that's it for month 9, but that's a lot, right? It's a lot for it's month 9 is going to probably be, for some of you, the most resistance you'll face in this whole process. And you'll want to like perfect and get your description just right, or say, well, I don't know who I am as an artist yet. Doesn't matter. Like, obviously, yes, you're going to evolve as an artist. We all evolve as artists and as human beings. So again, you just want to get started with this, just like you got started with your art making process. Okay, month 10, you're going to get in the game in month 10, right? You're going to engage. And again, this is really showing up more as a pro, as a master, right? And if either one of those words hang you up, just forget about them, okay? Because some of the resistance too is like, even though your actions all year have been showing that you are a pro now in month 10, you are, working towards that mastery. Sometimes our sense of identity hasn't quite caught up yet with what we've been doing. And sometimes that can really make people crash and burn as well. Just those words, but you're going to get in the game at a higher level. Okay. Let's say in month 10, you're going to enter a show this month, a show or an art fair, or figure out where you can show some of your freaking work this month that's not online, preferably. Okay. So now if you don't have that option anywhere around you, that's fine. You can enter a digital, art competition online or something like that. You can go to artshows.net. You can go to, I think it's .net, juried.artshows.com. There's all kinds of ways that you can find out about these art shows. Different regions of the country obviously are going to have more availability for these things than others. So just do the best you can, but commit to entering at least one show or competition, or like an art fair or something like that. I want you also in month 10 to up your game by joining a community, right? Making sure that you are around other artists. Throughout the centuries, artists have always strengthened one another by being inspired by each other, by bouncing ideas off each other, by having that other set of eyeballs to give you quality feedback on, to help point out any of your blind spots, or frankly, just to like, hey, celebrate you whenever you need to be celebrated, or like cry with you whenever you're having a hard day, or try to pick you up and uplift you whenever you're having a tough time. So you have to find a community. It doesn't mean that you have to be an extrovert or anything like that, but you need at least a small team or small community of allies that you feel safe with, that you can get support from. And also, feeling safe doesn't mean that they don't challenge you, right? So you also want people who are going to challenge you to think differently, and to really push yourself further. On that note of challenging, I would say, yeah, in month 10, you're going to get a mentor of some kind. And a mentor is different than a teacher. Okay. So a teacher, and maybe they are both. Like, for example, I am both to the artists that I work with. I'm both a mentor to them, and I'm also teaching them technique, right? But not always is a teacher a good mentor. So just keep that in mind. You want to find someone who is a professional artist, who is good at mentoring, who is going to challenge you, but also build you up, point out like, here's what you're doing well, here's where you can improve. Also maybe just help you to pull out any of those deep desires or dreams or goals that you have for yourself, making it a safe place for you to be able to step more into your identity as an artist, as a pro artist. Okay, so that's month 10. We're moving on towards the finish line. In month 11, this is all about the money, honey. Show me the money, honey. But this is very, very important. First of all, I think it's important because it breaks us out of that stupid starving artist, mentality, or that, oh, I just do this just for fun. Of course you do it for fun. We all do. And we also know it's not fun all the time. You know, we also know that there's hard things to it, but this is a huge hurdle that needs to be overcome, and that is involving value, money, monetary value to your artwork. You are saying to yourself and to the world that this has value because it does. And you might not believe that yet, but one way that you're going to prove to yourself that you believe it is that you're going to attach a monetary value to your artwork. So you're going to set a price. Again, don't make it difficult. Don't overthink it. Don't get stuck in like, but I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how much to price it. Doesn't matter, just price it. You will learn as you go. My first prices were very low, and I got a ton of criticism from other artists at the art school and my teachers. And I also got advice. It wasn't just criticism, but some of it was criticism and accusations that I was only selling because my prices were so low. And maybe that was true. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I attached a price to my painting and people bought my paintings. And guess what? That made me super happy. And it built more confidence and it helped me believe in the value of my work even more. Okay, so if you're unsure of how to price, it's okay. And my goodness, there is so much information out there on how to price. And of course, if you're interested in working with me, I have all these business courses inside the Art Life School as well, where I give you my personal take and personal advice on how to go about doing that. Okay, so number 2 in month 11, you're going to sign up for a marketing course, right? Just like you did with your artwork. In month 9, you just got started in just getting it done, getting your brand out there in a small statement, and you've been practicing twice a week on posting your work, sharing your work, talking about your process. And in month 11, you're going to really amplify that. You're going to sign up for a marketing course. This doesn't have to specifically be an art marketing course, although that might be more relatable to you. And nowadays we have a lot more available on that front, much more than I ever had, back in 2011, whenever I was coming out of art school as an artist, right? So you're going to find an art marketing course that you can sign up for, and you're going to pay for that. Please pay for that course, because whatever you pay for, what you're saying is, I'm committed to this. I'm saying this has value in my life. And so I'm committed to it. I'm going to pay for it. That is going to reap better rewards for you, in my opinion, than just watching endless random YouTube videos, right? You can start there with the free, but at some point you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is and pay for some education in that area. Because it's not about, well, I can get that for free. Of course you can. It's modern time. It's 2025. Of course you can probably get all of it for free. But in my experience, I saw the most momentum in my art career whenever I actually bought and paid for services, whether that was art school for 4 years or whether that was for a business course or a marketing course or coaching or mentoring. I saw the most return on my time and energy and investment from doing that. Okay, month 11, you're going to open a shop of some kind, or your own website, right? But it needs to be a commerce website, okay? Not this like, not for sale, contact the artist. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay. You're going to open a shop, whether that it can be on Etsy. Gosh, there's so many ways you can do it. Again, maybe just commit a little bit of time in month 11 to exploring different options and then make a decision. If it ends up not being the right decision, if Etsy is not right for you, or Shopify or Wix, or whatever the case may be, you can always change it later on. But the most important thing here is to actually have a way for people to be able to buy your artwork straight off of a website somewhere. Okay, month 12. Congratulations. You are in month 12. Wow. At this point, you have done so much. You have overcome so much like internal resistance and fear and just homeostasis, like you've just overcome so much. You've invested your time, your energy, your money, you've stayed committed to your course all year long. So it's time to celebrate your victories. This is like victory dance time, touchdown, victory dance time, whatever the best way is for you to celebrate that, whether that's with loved ones, whether that's with maybe you want to have like an open studio event where you invite people over and you display your work, even if that's in your own home. Do something to really commemorate this accomplishment and celebrate it. If you had set aside a reward for yourself at the beginning of the year, or somewhere along the year journey, you came up with a reward, now is the time to give that, let yourself have that totally, completely guilt-free. Right. So you really deserve to, just shine in month 12 and celebrate yourself. After you reward and celebrate yourself in month 12, you're going to then reflect, but only after you really, really do some juicy celebrating and rewarding. Okay. I know. If you are a high achiever, okay, maybe you're more of a type A, or maybe you just grew up in a family that didn't really make a big deal out of stuff or didn't really celebrate your accomplishments, this can actually be really hard to do. And to let others celebrate you if you maybe grew up that way or have resistance around receiving that celebration. It sounds easy, but for a lot of us, really fully celebrating and appreciating ourselves and how we showed up and rewarding ourselves can be really hard for a lot of us to do. And you can do it. So do your best. You will get better and better if you practice at celebrating yourself. And you will receive so much more reward from doing that in the long run. Rather than just like rushing on to, okay, it's time for year 2. I'm going to set all the goals and you will just take some time, take some really good quality time to really celebrate yourself here. So then you can reflect. So the third thing you're going to do in month 12, at the end of month 12, is really do a deep dive reflection on the whole year. Set yourself some journal questions. What worked, what didn't work, what really slowed you down the most, what are you most proud of, what did you overcome, this year. Who were your heroes? Who were your allies? Who are your biggest supporters? And then look at where did you grow the most? Now, how much more do you need to grow? What else do you need to grow? What do you need to work on for year 2? Now, what are your new goals for year 2? What do you want to see for yourself at the end of year 2? What really lit you up? What gave you more energy? What gave you more pride in your work, right? Doing reflection first and then setting those new goals for the next year. Okay, I hope that this has been of value to all of you, and I hope you got a lot out of it, and I can't wait to see you succeed as an artist. So as you're going along this process, definitely keep me posted, keep me updated in the comments below about where you're at, how you're showing up. And of course, for those of you who are interested, just getting started in month 1, I have so many free courses to help you do that on my website, artlifewithkelly.com. There's an oil painting for beginners class. There is a free 5-day oil painting challenge and acrylic. You can also do acrylic for that. But if you feel like I am a good place and my Art Life School is a good place for you to get started, check out the link below. There's some freebies for you to test out, or you can get signed up immediately today for the Art Life School and get going. Okay. All right. Happy creating, everyone, and happy painting. Wishing you such a inspired year this year. Bye for now.